Hey everybody, Wendy Klinke with Blue Cat Studio. We are doing a quick makeup session for day 23 of the Advent Ornament Challenge. And today we're going to do a cute little happy camper that's slightly Christmasified. So if you're joining me, hop on, say hello. We're going to begin with some black and some white. And later we're going to work with Bahama Blue, Festive Green, Daffodil Yellow, and then a little bit of red and some cobalt, which we'll put on the palette later because we just need an itty bitty teeny kiss. Okay, so we're going to grab a hunk of white and bring it out over here, and then a tiny, tiny little kiss of black over here, and we'll bring some of that white. We're just kind of mixing some grays. So I have basically two grays here, kind of a dark, well, okay, they're very similar. So we'll begin by doing a little horizon line here. And let it be streaky. Let it be funky. And by the way, y'all, Merry Christmas. I realize that some of you are probably off doing family things, which I love. So see how this one's getting kind of streaky every which way? I'm going to grab just straight up white and bring it on in to lighten that a little bit. And we're creating kind of like a gray sky. So this is going to be a daytime camper. We've done a lot of nighttime scenes and we're not done because yeah, we got a few more ornaments to do today. So by the way, I will be coming on and off a lot during the course of today. My kids are with their dad right now and I'm by myself. So I got nothing better to do. Let's paint, right? Well, that, and I'm going to watch Christmas movies and finish up wrapping presents. Now just grabbing a little bit of white and just kind of smushing and smudging it through there. So now we've got kind of like a nice happy gray day, and maybe we'll smoosh a little bit more white through kind of in this zone. Doesn't really matter. Streaky's good. We like streaky. That's so bright you can kind of hardly tell that we got some streakies going. Anyways, I'm going to grab my dryer really quick and let this dry because we're going to come on over it and do our pencil sketching. So go ahead and offload your paintbrush while you're here. Rinse your brush. And now that I look at things, I realize I actually forgot my rinse water. But that'll be all of 2 seconds to remedy that issue, especially while the paint is drying. So I think I'm done with the biggish brush, and that's really relative because that's a pretty small brush in the scheme of things. Pretty close. All right, give it a little second more. All right, I like it. That's good. That'll do the trick. Set the dryer off to the side and rinse. Okay. The towel is there. So yeah, I was writing a paper last night, actually pretty much all day yesterday. So research paper for my master's program, which is almost done, thank goodness. Because you know what, I just want to paint with you guys. I don't want to worry about homework and what's due. So I'm done for the quarter. So that's a whole week off, which I'm really excited about. Okay, let's draw. Yeah, okay. So we're going to draw two circles, kind of one here and one here. And you notice how it's kind of bisecting that horizon line. All right, I'm going to rotate this just because it's a little easier. We're going to kind of sketch out a rectangle like so. And then just to kind of make it more interesting, we're going to curve the rectangle. We're going to kind of cut off the corners there and then slightly curve and bring it out a little bit outside that rectangle on this side. And that just kind of gives you that camper feel. But I feel like it's easier to kind of start with a rectangle, a shape that we all know. And you can kind of erase the little lines. And then don't forget to draw a little line out here with a little ball on it for the camper hookup. Then we will sketch a door. I was going to put the door here, but that doesn't really make sense, does it? So we'll put the door slightly ajar from there. Now, in this particular design, we're going to have an open door. We'll worry about that later. But what that's going to look like is another tiny, skinny arch that comes like this and then swings out. Okay, and so there's a diagonal line that connects it and it comes down. All right, so then we'll do a little rectangle here for the window. I think that should cover us. Oh, and then we want kind of a line right through the middle. Does that work? No, it was that's off kilter. Okay, now let's get some trees in. So if I'm looking at my original design, of course, I just do this on copier paper. That way, if I screw it up, it doesn't never test a design on the ornament, right? We'll do a little a triangle here and then another one. And again, I'm just doing a simple triangle because we're gonna leave all the fun shaping of those trees to later. So it's basically 3 triangles. They're slightly different in size. Let me go darker on that so you can actually see that on screen. I'm gonna come down to here. And that's pretty much it. And then we got all this rando ground. So let's do the lower half first. And I think I'm going to step down to a smaller, again, we're doing a lot of small brushes here. So this is a square brush or a flat brush. It's a 1/4, 1/8 inch, right? Okay. So I'm going to grab some white and maybe just a little touch of the blue. Oh, that's a lot of blue. So a lot more white and mix it down. So we're trying to mix basically a light blue. Let me just double check that I'm all centered here. That would be so annoying for you guys if I'm not. Okay, and so we're just going to do this lower portion, and we can go right over the tires, right? Because the tires are in fact going to be covered up, except for the part that's hanging low. And we're not super worried about our lines for the door yet. We can still see them through. You may not be able to see mine, but if you sketch them in, you will be able to see yours. Just getting that kind of pale. It really should look white, but it's got a touch of blue to it. And the reason we do that is because we've got all this gray and these light colors. So we need it to be different so that the eye can catch up on it. If everything you're doing is all in the same tones, it starts to just feel bland. And we don't want bland on this guy. But right now, again, it's a little hard to see, and we're fine with that. So from here, I don't think I'll offload my brush, which is just, squish the extra off, but I don't need to rinse. I'm going to grab some of that lovely blue, and that's the Bahama blue. We'll fill in the upper portion. And so we want to be nice around the edges there. But if you cover up parts of the door, it's fine. We can sketch it in. I more or less sketched it in so you would know what to expect. But I just painted over that open door part that I just worked so hard to put in. Well, I didn't work hard, did I? No, not really. This is interesting. This ornament it's got a lot of texture on it. I don't know if I just didn't like the paint or what, but it's very bumpy, funky. No big deal though. All right, cool. So now we have the blue top and the white lower portion. I'm going to offload the brush. And before we get too far with details, I'm also going to rinse it because we're going to be moving into other colors. But before we do that, I'm going to grab one of my little brushes and we're going to get some detail on that camper before we put anything else in. So nice long skinny brush. We love these things. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. And we'll grab some light blue, that Bahama blue. We'll rotate it again and we'll start to add some stripes. And they can be really kind of loose, rough, gentle, whatever, imperfect stripes. We just want to kind of have the sense that there's kind of a metal paneling going on here. So you can see mine are fairly imperfect, but come on, focus. But they give you the sense. Let me see, is there a way to shadow that so it shows better? Not really. Okay. Well, they're there. Again, these ornaments are not really meant to be viewed and oohed and awed from afar. They are very small and detailed. So the magic in these is really going to be happening up close. So while we're here, I'm going to go back to the larger brush and we're going to pull some black, a little kiss of black out here, and we're going to kind of put it on the palette. And then we'll grab some green and mix it in, and we're going to create a dark, dark green. Maybe a little bit more green. It's dark. And this is our base coat tree. Y'all have been doing this with me long enough that I know you know that it's a base coat and that there'll be more. So we can afford to kind of do this. All right, so we're just going to kind of fill it in, and all right, let's be really, really cautious and create a nice clean edge around our camper itself. And then we can kind of let some of those branches come out the sides. Maybe I'll just fill in the whole triangle. I don't know. Should we go caricature? I kind of like the realish looking trees, but I'm also suddenly feeling like just straight up triangles is kind of cute and weird in its own funky way. Yeah, we'll get a little bit of branch going on here. Just, kicking a few strokes out. I don't think we have to do a whole lot. We could make this guy even taller and ugh, come on, brush. All right, all my bead bracelets are making a ton of noise and I'm crashing. Let me remove all that so there's less to mess with. Okay. We get a little bit here, a little bit. Okay, whatever. It's cool. So I'm not super worried about that little toe hitch there. We will draw it back in, but we remember that it's there. I'm just coming around, clean line here. So again, this is the day 23 design. We will come back a little while and do day 24. I'm working on a commission right now, and it's one of those things that's like you do a little something and then you have to wait for paint to dry, and then you do a little something and then you have to wait for paint to dry. So I figure I will do a little something, do a live, do a little something, do a live. Okay. Now I feel like we need to get a little bit of the dark under there, underneath the camper, just so it makes sense. So we'll kind of come in right underneath. I think the tree probably comes out to like here or so. In fact, let's just do all green under there. That makes way more sense because I'm sure there's another short bush under there. That pops out just the way we like it. So we have a very, very dark green. So base coats, right? That's what we're doing here, base coats. Let's see here. I think it's pretty much time to get smaller with the brushes. We could do here, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to use the green that's already on my brush. I'm just going to kind of line the outside of that, or not the outside, it's the inside of the door, but just the outer edge. And it's not so much that it's green. Oh, hi, cat. Oh, are you going to climb my back right now while I'm doing a live? Really, kitty? Hi. Nugget wants to say hi. Okay, so the reason I did that, it's not so much that it's green, it's that it's creating a shadow. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have the camper door open to look kind of inviting, but it's going to be all bright yellow inside, but we don't want it perfectly yellow. Okay, so let's step down to a smaller brush. And yeah, this long guy is good. Or if you have a skinny brush or a tiny brush with shorter bristles, you might be happier for right now. So see, this long bristle guy is great for long sweeping clean lines. The shorter guy is greater for just smaller details. He's a little splayed out right now, so of course I hate to say it, I lick it and try and rein it back in. Crazy, I know. Okay, so we'll get our base coat of yellow in here. I guess I could also use the bigger guy for yellow, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to do this here. So kind of line right over that dark with a yellow and then right up into the middle. Yeah, maybe I would be happier with a bigger guy. That's just way too much work with a little guy. But I'm going to come back with a little guy in a second. Okay, so we're just yellowing it in, and you can see that the little bit of darkness shows up, and it just helps kind of frame, because the yellow is a fairly see-through color. I might grab a little bit of that gray that we mixed previously and kind of blend it in. Whoops, paint bogey. We don't like paint boogers. Blend a little bit of the gray in the center. It's hardly visible. So we're trying to have it kind of darker on the edges and then lighter towards the center, and that's kind of how we're doing that. Maybe grab a little bit more of that greenish black. Oh, there's the bogey. Come on, out you go. Here's my trusty bamboo skewer. Well, I scraped it up a little bit. Okay. But you see how that just allows us to kind of blend and darken a little. There we go. And we might as well, I'm just going to take that and do the green in the windows here too. And just grab the yellow right on top of that. And so we're trying to mute out the yellow a little bit. I'm going to offload my brush, grab a touch of this sort of palish gray that we mixed and just kind of put that in the center here. Yeah. Maybe that's overkill. I don't know. Rinsing, rinsing, rinsing. Okay, back to our skinny brush. I'm going to rinse him too because I don't need the yellow anymore. We did go with that with a bigger brush. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to do this thing. And then I realize that doesn't always work out perfectly. So since we're here, we're going to take some black and we will do let's do an outline first, right? So we'll get an outline on the camper. Again, here's where I'm starting with a shorter bristle guy, so he needs a lot of dipping just to keep that line going smoothly. Coming down. We'll bring the little thingy out here. It's hard to see in black, but I'm drawing it in. I'm going to come over it with white a little later to make it have that sort of silvery look. All right, then we'll kind of come all the way across a straight line like so. Then we'll do the wheels for the tires. Just make them all black for now. Yep. And then since we're here, we can outline the window. Oh, we need the line down the middle here too. Doop-de-doo. Doop-de-doo. And we'll outline the basic door. All right, now let's make that door look like it's open. So we'll make that little arch, bring it down, and it's okay if it's pretty much black. We can always add some more to it. Then we're going to extend that down just a little bit below the baseline of the camper, although it's hard to tell. All right. And then hold up here. We're going to add a little bit of black, kind of smudging in this zone. And I'm going to quickly grab my larger brush with some white on it. And we're going to do a little smudging here to just kind of blend that in. We need a little bit more paint there. We'll blendy, blendy, blendy. Blendy, 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 blendy. Blendy, blendy. So I feel like the landscape for this one is kind of bleak. We'll pop those trees a little bit. That's why it's so much fun to have like a bright, happy blue camper smack in the midst of it all. Okay, we can start to get some details in. All right, I'm going to rinse my skinny brush. Okay, now grabbing some white or even some of your pre-mixed gray if you have any of it that's still wet. Most of mine is kind of getting dry here. We're going to do little hubcaps, so just kind of a little hubcap. It's like a half circle there, half circle there. We might even do a little smoosh on the tire. It gives a little highlight. And then we can come back in with a touch of black to kind of smear that a little. I don't know, something. Gives the tires a whoop. My tires look flat. Do your tires look flat? Mine look flat. Come on. Bloop. I don't know. We don't have to be perfect, right? So I'll set this guy aside. Okay, I want to let's add. Okay, I'm gonna go with a different brush. I want a longer, skinnier guy because we're gonna add the Christmas lights to this dude, and I think that's gonna be really helpful. So here we go. Are you ready? You're just gonna kind of take like from here, and we're gonna do some swoops. Fresh paint. A swoop. One more swoop. Bloop. And then because these people are extra just like me, we'll do a couple swoops right here and here. I'm not doing one over here. You can if you really feel like it. It's going to be up to you. Oh, I should have, I want that swoop to kind of go like so. Okay, that'll do. Since I'm here, I'm not even going to rinse. I'm going to take the white. I'm And kind of bring it out and up. And so now we have our little trailer hookup. You can kind of see it. Maybe just, all right, I seem to be messing things up here. Trying to add a little bit of something just kind of in the base of that and maybe a little bit of motion. So I had a little bit of black on my brush and a little bit of white on my brush. Just kind of smushing in the door a little bit. Okay, so let's see. It's time to break out some more color here. Let's put some green on the trees and some green lights on the light string. So we'll just go straight into that festive green. You can just kind of almost just add little ziggy zaggies right on top of that darker green that we just mixed. We'll just kind of, just little kisses. We're always kissing stuff around here. I feel like I need to come up with some more technical terms there, but it's just the way it kind of feels. All right, here we go. Little bits of slices. Keep it simple around that toe hitch so the toe hitch is still obvious. So now our trees have a little bit more green because again, it is daylight. Now, if you want to add some snow to them, you can. Oh no, wait, let's first get some green little lights on this guy. So you can use a brush. I'm actually, let me see how it goes if I use one of my bamboo skewers. I think it was Cassie was asking about this the other day and I found the package. Let me put it somewhere. I don't know if I can actually find it and show it to you. Well, whatever here. Let's see if I can do this with a bamboo skewer. Last time I did it with a brush and I felt like I ended up having like 6-inch sized Christmas lights. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of, so just a couple of green dots with a thing and space them out, right? Because on mine, I didn't space them out. And so it's like a gajillion lights just crammed in there and it got really, really busy. So give them some space because we have 3 other colors we need to cram in there. A couple of green dots here. I'm gonna try one right here, kind of coming off. It probably is gonna look more like tree. I'll put a doorknob there too with the green. Why not? I could make it blue later, or I could make it blue now. I'm gonna make it blue now. Whatever. Okay. Wiping off your skewer. Let's do the yellow since we have the yellow already pre-poured. Oh, that was too much paint. Look at that blob. That'd be a disaster right there. Let's try again. Gently dabbing in, and we'll put like a yellow one right next to each green. Now you don't have to create a pattern. You can be totally random if you like. I'm usually kind of random, but I'm thinking I maybe left enough room to actually get this right this time because the last 3 times I tried it, I was not getting it right. Okay, wipe all that extra paint off. Now we'll grab some ultramarine blue, any kind of cobalt or whatever is great. It's a really gorgeous velvety blue. I love this stuff. Hold on. It's all down at the bottom. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your blue paint. Shake your blue paint. Okay, so again with our skewer, do a little blue right here next to, oh my gosh, I almost put it in the yellow. That'd have been bad. A little blue next to each yellow. Leaving a little space for the red, because you know we got one more color to do. Yellow, yellow. Okay, and then for giggles, you could actually add just a little hint of blue right on top of that black door, just so it's not quite so stark. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of adding it in. You know, it'd also be fun. I did this on the other one. I kind of liked the way it looked. It was just a little kiss of blue shadow kind of right under those tires. Just a little squiggle. Then we could, we have to do the red first. Then we'll come back with a little bit more blue in a second. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, wiping it off. And we'll grab some, red, right. So Tuscan red or bright red, whatever red you happen to have. I, of course, almost always use the Tuscan. Oh, hey, Linda. Merry Christmas Eve. Yesterday was Christmas Adam. This is day 23 because I owe y'all one. I was up till almost midnight working on this paper. And then I was like, these guys probably would like to catch this during daylight hours one of these days. All right, so this red light is going to go on either side of the green or between the yellow and the green, I think. No, something like the yellow, green and the blue. I don't know. It's going to fill all the gaps with a red. That's what you're going to do. That's what's going to happen there. Oh, just squeeze something in there even though there's no room. It's a merry festive. Merry festive, merry festive. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of scratch some curtains in here. Keeping it kind of light. I'm going to keep them straight. Like you could do the whole tucked curtains, but I think that in a little tiny van like this or a camper like this, you're more likely to have things that just slide open and close and hang straight. Then I'm going to just a touch of blue here and there to just kind of mix in a little, just for fun. I don't know. It just needs a little something. So that is more or less it. However, if you want, we can also add, I'm just going to keep using my little thing here, a little bit of snow to our trees, if you're feeling it. And notice I'm kind of focusing that snow along the outer portions and keeping the inner parts kind of darker. That way we don't have any visual conflicts with our camper. Now, this one I have to be a little bit more careful just because we've got all those lights and other details, but you can have just a few kind of hints of snow. That's probably all that you really need. If it's too much, you can always come back in and grab some of that dark green we pre-mixed and just kind of mess with it. I don't know, but I think we're more or less there. It's hard to see the red lights. Boo. But that's good. Okay, let's dry them off. And then, of course, if you want to add glitter, you can. Where would I add glitter? Oh, I don't know, the trees, the bottom, the ground. Now, if you're feeling really enterprising, you might be able to like add a little campfire right here. I feel like I would have trouble getting the scale and proportions on that right. Let's see if we can sketch one in on this guy. What would it look like if we did like a little campfire? I don't know. Should we add a campfire, guys? I need a vote. Anybody think we should add a campfire? Yeah, I'm going to add a campfire. Obviously not on my original design. We'll do like a little kind of rock around it. And I think we'll just do this by mixing. So we'll start with some basic yellow. Fill it in here. And then we'll grab a pinch of red, and I'm just going to kind of gently brush into that red, dragging it out so it kind of blends and makes an orangey tone, and kind of bring some of that just in the base. Right in here. I don't know. Don't really paint campfires very often, so bear with me while we just wing the heck out of it, right? Okay. Oh, and so since we're here, let's mix. So if you have brown, you can grab some brown. I think we could also just get away with kind of black. And I'm going to need a much smaller brush to get in there because those are going to be little details. So Linda, did you get a chance to do any of these projects with your daughter or your grands or anything yet? I know you were looking forward to doing that since you finally got them. So I'm going to tone down my black a little bit by grabbing some yellow and some red, a little bit of black, kind of blend them all up. So you didn't get to see from the beginning, but you'll watch when we're done here, and you're loving the ornaments. Okay, good. I got a yes vote for the campfire. Well, that's good because I already just committed to it, whether it was a good idea or not. All right, so I'm thinking we'll just kind of create like a fire circle around this guy. I don't know that we necessarily have to do all the sticks and whatnot. We can try a few, but we can kind of keep it just a few dots that kind of hint at it. So here we have sort of our fire circle, and then we can add maybe a little bit of white to some of those rocks, blend it, but we don't want it to blend too much with the background. Well, very, very simple. Offloading the paint, rinsey, rinsey, rinsey. come in with my skinny brush one more time. Let's see if we can add just a little bit of something there to kind of pop it. Then you could even do a couple of tiny dots that come up that look like sparks, although I maybe did too many. That's okay. All right, so there you go. Happy camper. Well, it has been fun. Oh, right, we were drawing this. So if you want to add glitter, you can add glitter to the ground, to the trees, to the sky, wherever it suits you. I think I'm going to hold off on glitter on the sky for now and think about it. But I do hope that you find a way to add something cute and metallic or glittery or shimmery or some little element of happy to each and every one of your ornaments. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm going to take a quick break and then come back and do our actual Christmas Eve ornament. And then if I have the juice, I will also try to make up our day 12 with our angel kitty. All right. Love you guys. And I will see you next time. Bye.